Great rise, great rise in the moonlights, beloved. You know who this is. You know who it is. You know what it is. Your girl, Queen God, the King Advocate, and it is Melanated Monday. Y'all know what we doing. You've seen it. You've seen it. I've been posting it. I've been talking about it. I've been promoting it like crazy. This is a show you don't want to miss. I have a special guest coming on. We are discussing money matters, and I do not own the rights to this music that you shall be hearing shortly. But this is what we're doing. All right? This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. You already know. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Come on in. Y'all know what we're doing. We are talking about leveling up your finances. All right? Leveling up your finances. We got a special guest coming on tonight. The CEO of Dynasty Financial Consulting, Miss Deborah A. Mitchell. She will be joining us shortly to discuss money matters and how to level up your finances, how to make the most of them, getting an overstanding on the important factors of your money, honey. Okay, so come on in, get your pen and paper because you need to be taking notes. Have your folks join in with you. Go share the video like right now. Go ahead and hit that share button. Tell people to come on in. They gotta get this information. This is one of the topics that I mentioned maybe 2 weeks ago. We were going to do a series of level up topics, and our finances is definitely on the list of conversations to be had for us. Okay, so come on in. Again, I do not own the rights to this music, but I want you to listen. Okay, level up. Okay, it's time for us to make some changes, and the only way to make those changes is to understand how. Okay, so tonight's show is all about getting overstanding about your money. Okay, how do you level up your finances? How do you make sure you are the head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower? We gotta always include that spiritual factor is all included. Okay, so get your pens, get your paper, get your friends, get your mama and them, whoever you gotta get them. Okay, bring them on in. When we have Miss Mitchell, when she joins us, which should be about 9:05 or so, she'll be here shortly. We get right in it. Okay, if you have any questions for her, you can ask her directly. You'll be able to call in like usual and talk directly to her. You can also share your comments in the boxes like usual. But if it's something that's pretty long and drawn out as far as your question is concerned, I would greatly advise you to call in. And I'm going to give you that number, right? Right, I'm going to give it to you in a little bit. I see everybody's coming in. Miss Carla, I see you. Muhammad, I see you, loved one. Faith, I see you. Nikki, I saw you, baby girl. Thank you all for being here and being on time. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we get down. Okay? It's going to be a good show. It's definitely going to be a good show. I'm going to turn this off now. I can turn it off. Y'all know what it is. Level up. Level up. Too much yummy. But the information is going to be just that. Okay? Just as yummy. All right? I will give you that number. I'll give it to you again throughout the show. If you want to call in and ask her any questions directly, the number is 770-906-5271. Again, it's 770-906-5271 if you want to call in and ask Miss Mitchell a question specifically. I said we're going to give her a few minutes to get on in here. This is her first time going live with us. Her first time probably going live, period, on Facebook. So be patient, y'all. We just got to be patient, be patient. She coming. I just talked to her. So I'm excited. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. I say it's a lot of things that we don't talk about in depth. We don't get an overstanding of the importance of knowing and applying information, dealing with certain subject matters, and money is one of them. I always tell you all, particularly like when these holidays are coming up, or when tax return season is here, or whatever, you get a hold of a lump sum of money, and the first thing we want to go do is go buy some dumb shit. We want to go buy a TV that's bigger than the house. We want to buy shoes that are, thousands of dollars that are more than your mortgage. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. And then there's nothing in the bank account. $0. I think I just saw her pop in, so we got to make sure she come on back, because I saw you. So come on back in here so I can get you. When you see a little green button up there, click that little green button so you can come on in, and I can make you live. I think I'm seeing you. It's like an in and out type of thing. Quit playing. The people are ready. What's going on, G Walker? I see you, loved one. I appreciate you for being here. I think that's you. It's going to show whether or not that's you or not. If that is, just stay there. Just stay there and ask for permission to come on. I promise I'm going to give it to you. I promise I will give you permission to join me live. It'll say bring them on camera. You'll have all of that. I know you am here. I was expecting you. So I'm glad you made it, love. So again, for those of you who are just joining me, who don't really have a clue as to what will be going on this evening, Miss Mitchell, come on, because I see you. Hit the button. Ask to come on in. For those of you who don't know, we will be discussing money matters. It is the level up. Okay, this is the part 2 of the level up conversation. We are going to be talking about leveling up on your money, leveling up in your financial position, what to do, what are some of the important factors to know about money, how to handle it or not. Hit the button. Let me hit this button for her. Hold on. Give me a moment, y'all. Just give me a moment. We want her to come on in. Just tell her, come on in. Come on in now. Come on. Let me see. Give me a moment. Hit the button. You gotta hit the button. Miss Mitchell. Okay, so I know you can see me. Hit the green button that asks or says to bring you on camera. It's like an invitation. You want to be brought on camera. Help you cheering. Come on in, sister. We it's always something, and I laugh about it. So don't even trip, because it's always something, but it's gonna turn out all right. Just ask for permission. If all else fails, you'll be calling in and you'll be talking. Okay, not a problem. You gonna be on this show. That's all I'm saying. You gonna be on the show. All right. So hit the button. It's a little green icon. This is a green icon on my end. Like I said, it will ask you to. There you are. I see you. I see your face. No, she just needs to let me know that she wants to come on in. Okay. So I'm gonna tap that. Where you at? There you go. Okay. I'm adding you now. She coming. I see you coming. Miss Mitchell, there she is. She made it.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Yes, ma'am. It's all good.
I don't have my tech department here with me tonight.
I was gonna talk you through it. Worst case scenario was gonna be a phone call. Either way, you was gonna be on here tonight.
For the record, the button was not green.
Oh, okay. I know it's green on my end.
I was looking for, I'm color code, and I was looking for green.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Thank you, Kim. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you made it. So, I have been boosting you. I have been bragging about you. People have been waiting to see you come in and hear what you got to say. what I want you to do is
Yes,
basically
ma'am.
tell the people who you are. Who is Deborah Mitchell and why do they need to know you?
Well, Deborah Mitchell is Deborah Mitchell.
Okay.
Deborah Mitchell I am the CEO, founder, and president of Dynasty Financial Consulting. And I started the company back in 2004, August.
Okay.
And I started in the business as a loan originator, and it was wonderful. It was awesome. And I continue to grow. I believe, that with a little bit of help and a little bit of knowledge and a shoving that, we can grow and do whatever our hearts desire.
Right.
So I started the company 2004. And I grew it from that point and added on and added on and added on, became a broker, became a lender. I still, on a regular basis, preach financial literacy, saving, building, becoming a homeowner, improving yourself, leveling up, as you would say, Kimberly, being credit worthy, and staying ready for many opportunities.
Absolutely. Now, we've had an opportunity to talk a little bit more personal, which I won't get into it unless you do. I know a little bit about your background, what you've come through, how you've gotten to the point that you're at now. I want to say this before you start, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not know, you're gonna know today. First of all, if you do not know, Deborah A. Mitchell is one of, if not the top mortgage broker, female Black woman in the nation. Okay, I wish I had an audience clap sound. That needs to be known. It needs to be praised. I have so much respect for you just on that level, because it takes a lot, first of all, just to be in the financial industry as a woman, and then to be in it as a Black woman and be at the top of the game. Like, you're at the top of the game. That says a lot.
It's a real challenge. It has been very challenging. We've been told that there's a lot of things that we cannot do,
right?
Because we are African American women, and the industry was not set for us. But I have truly overcome a lot of obstacles when it comes to being Black, being in business, learning the business, whether it's be corporate, government, and I kind of sustain myself. I learned from the best.
Right.
I learned from some of the best, whether Black or or any other race. I almost pride myself with making sure that I partner with people that are very, very knowledgeable and kind of stay on the same page or help me to elevate myself. So I've seen in many years, I've seen my growth in the industry. I've seen my growth personally, and it has really helped me. I've had a lot of coaches, many mentors, not to say that they're in banking, but just a lot of life coaches that have lifted me up and kept me inspired to do and be and pull others up and to help and continue to assist.
Right. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you're here. People, they need to hear it. And, I go into, people's personal, I'm very transparent, because folks need to know that people are people. They have real experiences. What we're talking about is not, what we heard or what somebody told us. We're experiencing these things. We're human. You know what I'm saying? What we've been through,
it's human. It definitely has been a life learning lesson for me to even be where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
It has come by trial and error, mistakes, and not knowing. And so, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off and say, okay, that was a lesson. What did I get out of it?
Right.
Whether, it's on the job, it's personal, your credit, your finances. And when you've had a lot of bruises along the way, you say, well, I didn't like that, so I'm going to try something different. Right. And it starts with the mindset.
Absolutely.
Changing the mindset on how you perceive yourself to be.
Absolutely.
And that has taken me for where I'm at, or allowed me to be where I'm at, by trial and error and self-taught and reading and going through and following guidelines and procedures and knowing that this will work. Absolutely. It's a proven fact. It's a proven fact. So you work what you work with what you have in terms of the knowledge that you have gained along the way.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
then you visualize it being, this is very doable. And once you get there, you say, I can do this.
Right.
And you maintain it.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to see yesterday again.
That what you say. You are so correct. So I'm just going to jump right in.
Okay.
You have a course for financial literacy, which
Yes.
we know your first class is coming up on Saturday.
On Saturday, yes. It's
Okay.
going to be at the Smyrna Community Center in Smyrna.
Okay.
And it's going to be on from 9:30 until 1:30. It's a 4-hour course, and we're going to be touching bases on credit, budgeting, the purpose of saving, the benefits of saving. Why did you save my money?
Right.
Because you want to have some tomorrow.
That part.
All righty.
Right.
Even for you have a lot of young, I won't say college grads, and they come out of college and they're clueless. I was that person. And you have a way of saying, okay, I'm graduating, so what now? I got bad credit. I got $200,000 in student loans that I can't get a job.
Right.
Well, the reason being they're looking at your credit.
Right. Absolutely. So let's talk about
it. So right there, Kim, you're saying, I went to school all these years, but now I can't get a job.
Right.
Because nobody told me while I was in school that I needed to pay my bills and pay my bills on time, but I had no money.
Right.
So, it's kind of like, how do I live? Do I pay my bills? Do I pay my money? Do I spend my money? Do I eat? Or do I pay my credit card bills? You got to do all of it.
Right. Absolutely. You got to live. So,
you got to live.
Right. So,
on that small amount of money that you have as a student.
Exactly. So with that, okay, with financial literacy, how would you define that? And like, what are the key factors that are part of financial literacy?
Well, financial literacy is basically knowing and having an idea, how you are going to get to the next level financially. Okay, and having a plan in place, being accountable, knowing what to do with your money, how to map it out, how to track the spending, and knowing that if you do not, it's basically having a plan.
Right.
Having a plan for your money.
Right.
Whether it's a small amount of money or a large amount of money. And it starts with just the basics of having the plan, knowing that you need to be educated on how to spend your money. Not that, hey, I got paid and then I have to live paycheck to paycheck. So being aware of where that money is going.
Right. And
having a plan for where you want it to go.
Right. That seems to be like a big issue for most of us, that we are living from paycheck to paycheck. So it's like, well, I plan to pay this bill off this week, but life is life, and I'm gonna have to make some adjustments. So I might not be able to do that, but it still needs to be paid. But I'm, like I say, I'm kind of juggling how to go about doing it. How would you tell a person to discipline and prioritize what needs to be taken care of, like if there's an order of things?
Well, there is definitely an order, Kim, and you have your fixed bills, and then you have your variable bills, okay? And your fixed bills are, you have to pay rent.
Right.
That's a fixed debt monthly.
Right.
If you're responsible for paying rent or paying a mortgage, that's a fixed bill.
Right.
So that's right at the top.
Right.
Right along with your maybe a car note, your utilities, okay?
Right.
Things that are fixed that is a necessity. Those are the fixed things. So you start right there with your fixed bills, and then let's work on, okay, you got your mortgage, your car note, your utilities. You have to eat.
Right.
Got to eat, okay?
Right.
And then you look at all of the other bills, for example, your credit cards bills. Why are they so high? Because you're constantly using them. You have to pay that money back so you can have your fixed, your variables. You have your miscellaneous bills that you may, that you have to have on. So you got to have two columns. Right. And that second column is, what can I really pull back on? You can't pull back on the rent.
Right. Correct.
You can't pull back on the car note.
Right.
Okay. How do I have a fixed amount of I have my utilities on a budget. Okay, so you know that you're paying those utility bills that same amount year around. Okay, and we know that in the summer the gas bill is smaller, and in the winter our gas bill is higher due to wherever you may live. So you have your fixed and you have your variable bills, and that's how you start determining. Okay, this is the amount that it takes me to live.
Right.
And then you have just frivolous spending.
Right.
Oh, you want to eat out 3-4 days a week, and I don't mean cheap food. Right. So you say, where can I fall back on it? I don't have to eat out 4 days a week or 5 days a week or maybe every day a week.
Right.
Okay, and that is where you start looking and chopping down, and you take that $600 or $700 or $800 that you spend in a month eating out, and you start eliminating that day.
Right. Okay.
Eliminating what I can live without.
Gotcha.
On a weekly. And in addition to that, if it takes for you to obtain a part-time job and you're able to, do it.
Right.
And put yourself on that budget and stick to it. It could be a 6-month, a 9-month, a 12-month, but you chop it up into monthly.
Gotcha. Okay, so
you chop it up and you create a savings from that. So instead of you having 12 pages on your bank statement because you have taken and swiped 4, 5, 6 times a day on things that were not necessary, and you can look at your bank statement and see that some items were not necessary.
Right.
And you take those monies and you save them.
Right. I know people,
but you have to be aware and be conscious of your spending.
Right. I know people will say, and I'm guilty of it, will say, well, I don't make enough money to save. I can't afford to save. But then,
that's a problem.
Right. But then when you, like what you were saying, though, if you look at the money that you're spending on unnecessary items,
you can save.
You can save. Even if it's like $5 every check, $10 every check, whatever it is, you can put that money aside. Yeah.
You have to get in the habit of saving.
Right.
That's the main thing. Just make it a habit. And you start off small, and because you're disciplined, you find yourself saying, wow, this month I actually saved $100.
Right.
And it didn't hurt me.
Right. That part.
So next month, I'm going to create, maybe I can do 200 or maybe I can do 150. And then before you know it, you've saved that. Right. And you continue on because at this point you have pulled back and you're disciplining yourself.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that you should not treat yourself, but I am saying you should save your money as much as possible because we always say, oh, have something for a rainy day.
Yeah.
What about those stormy days? There's going to be some storms coming through, and you have to be prepared for them. And I think that is the main thing. We're never prepared for the storm.
Right. We're never prepared for the drought either. Okay. So, you got to be prepared for all of the weatherings, because each season brings about something different. So if you don't know ahead of time or, have something set aside for.
Well, Kim, if we knew ahead of time, Kim, life would be a whole lot easier.
That's true. That's true.
I always say, God didn't give me that gift to read minds.
Right.
Had his whole crystal ball because if he did, we'd be in a different place.
Right. But one thing is for certain, we do have the gift and ability to pay attention to patterns.
Oh, most definitely. That's where it starts. If I can predict, in 6 months, my car will break down.
Right.
You can't predict.
Right.
We just don't know. So with that being said, that's why it's important that you do put something back.
Right.
So it does not feel like a storm when it comes.
That part.
You're like, I got this.
Right.
I'm good.
Absolutely.
But however, it's all about the discipline and having the mindset and actually tracking and seeing and paying attention to your overspending.
Right.
We all are guilty of overspending.
Right.
And we get to a point where it's just a habit that you act like you cannot break.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They have camps for alcohol, camps for drugs, and they should have a camp for overspending.
I hear you. I think we all be in that camp with the majority.
Thank you. I have a habit spending all my money before I get it in my bank.
Yes, absolutely. So like, okay,
Yeah.
I know we had a question in regards to the number of days that's permissible before it becomes negative on your credit report. So it's like, how many days can a person go before an item becomes negative on their credit?
29 whole days.
Okay.
I don't even play with the 30th day.
Right.
Okay. I don't even play with the 30th day. Oh, you could pay it on, for instance, the 30th day. Just your luck, you done called and their computer's down.
That part. Yes.
I waited to the last day.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
And now you got a bad mark.
Yeah.
I will say, like, if you have credit cards, have just the minimum payment come out automatically.
Right.
And then you can add to it, but at least you're covering the minimal payment on that debt to say, okay, I paid that.
Right.
And because some people get busy, they forget, or they just like, hey, I just get to it. And that's never the key.
Right.
So 30 days, at that 29th day, you're going to get a late fee right after, Kim, right after you don't make that payment on time. You're going to get a late fee.
Right.
But that late fee will continue to add every month. So you got late fees, you got high interest credit cards, and then you make a minimal payment, and what happened? You're in a deficit.
Yep.
Because the late fee absorbs that minimal payment.
Right.
So you know, wait a minute, I paid you on time. Well, no, you paid one day late.
That is so
some
crazy.
Credit cards will say you have to pay on the due date by 5 o'clock.
Yeah. They
have a cutoff too.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's important just to try to, stay at that due date with your credit cards, because when you continue to pay late, that 29% or 18 or 19%, that's not going anywhere. Right. They're going to get their money.
Right. Absolutely. I would also say to add to that, and you mentioned it when you first came in, as far as people's mindset, like that has to level up first before anything. How you think, period, how you process things, as what affects your life, what affects your movement, your livelihood. That has to be leveled up first, because, and this is no shot to anyone, okay, this is just information to be put out there. If you focus on the bare minimum, or how to get away with, or how to skip over, or if you focus on the shortcuts, I'll put it that way, or the things that are the most convenient, it kind of puts you in a different, almost a lacking kind of mindset, because it says, well, I can't do it this way, I can't do it, and the can't, it automatically is producing a negative vibe, is producing negative energy. So I would just say, instead of saying, well, when is the last date that I can do it before it's late? Don't even worry about it trying to be late. Do it. It's, what I'm saying? Like, as soon as you get it, it's got to be paid.
Right.
Handle it.
You have to pay your bills. You got to pay your bills. You got to pay your bills, pay your bills on time. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's a promise to pay.
Yeah.
When your creditors give you a line of credit, they give you a car, they give you a mortgage, they give you loans, that's a promise to pay. That's a promissory note, and your word becomes your bond.
Right.
And the actions show how credit worthy and its integrity. Like, I loaned you this $50,000, or I loaned you this $500. They really don't want excuses. They want their money back with interest and on time. Right. And your credit report shows that, Kimberly.
Right.
Okay, now we understand that bad things happen to good people.
Right.
But there's also a history of you paying late or paying on time. It shows right there.
Right.
And that's why you have some consumers that have a 500 credit score, and you have some that have an 800 credit score.
Right.
They built that. And we all start off on the same ground.
Absolutely.
Okay? Someone giving us a chance or an opportunity, or saying, okay, I'm going to roll the dice on you. Okay? Here is a line of credit. Somewhere in your mind, you should be saying, wow, they trust me. It's like if I give you some money, I trust you're gonna pay it back.
Right.
The bank is the same way, but when you don't pay it back, they're gonna tell everybody, and that's
Right.
called the credit report.
Right. Okay.
Right. Telling on you.
Right.
Okay, yeah, we like you. We know that you're a great cook, a great mom. You're a soccer mom, basketball dad, but your word is not good.
Right. And
it shows in your actions by you not paying us back on time.
Right. Your credit report can basically act as a blackballer, like you're on the blackball list.
It will definitely put you out there, Kim. It will. That's what it's designed for.
Yeah.
Now, however, that's a different category from people that have had their identity stolen,
right?
Or something happened, you got sick, out of your control, you couldn't pay your bills. That's one thing, but just taking and not paying your bills, and I'll get to it. Oh, they made me mad. I'm not paying that.
Right. Your feelings.
They get their emotions all tied up into all this money that the bank has given them because somebody at the bank had a bad day, and then you called in and you got that, and then all of a sudden, I'm not paying that.
Right.
But they made me mad.
Right. Your feelings. Y'all know. They know.
Your feelings got hurt. So I say take the emotions out of the business aspect of it, Kim.
Absolutely.
So that you can continue to thrive and build your credit, save your money, and obtain the things that you truly desire.
Right. Absolutely.
Now, some of us were not born with silver spoons in our mouths.
Right.
Okay? So that means we have to get out and we have to work and we have to obtain credit. And I'm not saying stay in credit debt.
Right.
Not at all. I'm saying save your money and be credit worthy. So when you have to go to the bank and obtain a loan, they can say, sure, sign right here, Miss Smith.
Right.
Or Miss Kimberly.
Right.
We need you to sign right here because you have proven yourself to be very credit worthy, because it started with what? Budgeting.
Right.
It started with saving, being very aware of your spending, having that mindset that, hey, I'm not going to just continue to live in debt.
Right.
And it shows.
Having that financial literacy that's being taught by you on Saturday.
Having that financial literacy class,
right.
And sitting in that class for 3.5, 4 hours, taking in the information, and it will benefit all of us.
Right.
Because I'm even the person that, that can sit there and, I practice what I preach.
Right. Absolutely. So, okay, I want to ask this. What are the most important factors that a person should know about money, credit, and debt?
What are the what now?
The most important factors, the most important things to know about money, credit, and debt.
Money, credit, and debt. Well, we can start with the money.
Okay. Start with the money.
Hey, Kimberly, we all need money.
Right.
Some of us need a little bit more money than others.
Right.
Okay. And depending on, how much money you desire in life, or the lifestyle that you desire to have, you gotta make that money, have that income based on your career, what you desire, what type of lifestyle that you want. We gotta have money to live. We have to have money to eat.
Right.
Take care of our family, and just having the necessities in life. Right. It takes money.
Yeah.
So that means what? You have to be gainfully employed, unless you are that person that, got that silver spoon.
Right.
But somebody had to work for that money.
Right.
Even for you to inherit it. Some of us get lucky and hit the lottery, just like the lady in Florida. Man, she's filthy rich right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
We need money.
Right.
So money is an important aspect in our life.
Right.
To maintain and to live.
Right.
Okay? And staying gainfully employed. If you feel like you're not making enough money, at any time, you have to change careers. Shift gears. Sometimes we feel like this is it. Right. I got one job, a 9 to 5. I don't like it. I don't like my boss. I don't like my coworkers.
Right.
I don't make enough money, and you don't do anything about it.
Right.
And you feel like I can't start over. Oh, yes, you can.
Right. I know. Right. Absolutely.
You can start over. Right. If you have all of those negative things going on with your current job or career, careers are made to be changed.
Right.
And I truly believe that. When I was in corporate, I changed careers.
I hear you.
And that's what brought me into the mortgage business.
Right.
I didn't understand mortgages and all. I understood credit very, very well.
Okay.
However, I knew that I gave my corporate job 7 years.
Okay.
I made the change.
Right.
Was it tough? It was very tough because I got out of my comfort zone.
Right.
But it paid off.
Yeah.
And you build from that. So starting over is okay. Changing jobs is okay. Changing positions is okay. Asking to be promoted. What is it going to take for me to be promoted? How can I get to the next level? How can I get to the next position? How can I take my boss's job?
Right. Okay. Right.
She got it. Why can't I do that?
That's true. That's very true.
That's how it was for me. I saw a position like, wow, I can do that.
Right.
Because she's, in my mind, she wasn't even that good.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like, I can do that job.
Right.
And sure enough, my boss came to me and said, Deborah, may I speak with you? I'm like, oh, what I do now?
Right.
You always feel like you're walking on pins and needles, when you're working for corporate, like what I do now. But it was actually a good meeting.
Right.
And he asked me if I wanted to do that or be a corporate trainer.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Be careful of your thoughts.
Okay. Yes. Manifesting it.
Manifesting it just like that.
Yeah.
I said, yes, I can do that.
Right.
And that's how it started because someone saw something in me
right.
and said, you can do that.
Right.
I said, okay. So that is just to say, take that leap of faith, and change careers if you feel like you're not making enough money. You can have a part-time job. Part-time job is okay.
Right.
If you're single, if you're families and you want to, level up financially, add on more income, but you never have to stay in that set income, Kim, and make that small or that set amount of money.
Right.
You don't have to be a prisoner to your job.
Right.
There's other opportunities. You can learn and you can move on. You grow, you move on, and not just move on, you move up.
That.
Whether it be with the company.
Level up.
You level up.
Right.
Whether it's with that company or you go with another company. And there's nothing wrong with working for the competitor because right now you've gained the experience. So you're competitive. You're in demand because when you started, you had no experience, but you gave yourself 7 years at a company.
Right.
I have the experience. I can work for the competitor. The competitor wants you.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
They want you. Because you got the experience and you've been still for 7 years. You weren't hopping over here and going over here. You're reliable. You're dependable.
Right.
What company would not want that?
Right.
So I say, if you're not making enough money, start new.
Okay.
Get something more, or add some additional income by a part-time job or whatever you desire to do. But add more money to the pot.
Right.
And have a plan for it. Okay. And that's how you get out of debt. Now, credit, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big credit girl. I'm a big credit person. Kim, when I graduated from college, guess what my first job was?
What was your first job? In the
my
bank?
job, and I didn't mean really, really guess, okay?
Okay.
Kim, my first job was a bill collector.
Oh, you're the ones that we hang up on.
That's right. I was that person.
Right.
Kim, I did not understand, but I know I needed a job. Now, remember, I'm a college grad.
Right.
A college grad with bad credit. I was that person. And I got a job as a bill collector.
Okay.
I made a little bit of money.
Okay.
But because I couldn't make any more because I had bad credit. So I had to take that job, but it taught me so much. And the person that I am, I felt like it was a conflict of interest. You know why, Kim? Because I was calling people and telling them to pay their bills and I wasn't paying mine. Right. Because I was living paycheck to paycheck or just, just doing whatever. Right. But that was that living that paycheck to paycheck. Right. And when you have a little bit, you're trying to stretch it, and then by the time you get paid, that paycheck is gone.
Right. Absolutely.
It's gone. So I was that person. And it is really not a good feeling. So I had to go get a part-time job.
Okay.
And sometimes the more money you make, the broker you get.
Okay. Quick.
Like, wait a minute.
Real quick.
I'm going backwards.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I'm going backwards.
Exactly.
So, but that credit piece is important. It says a lot about you. And I'm not talking about, as I said before, things that happen that's out of your control.
Right.
You get ill, you can't work or whatever. I'm talking about us that are in our good minds. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And, they're not paying their bills.
Right.
Because they find other things to do with their money.
Right.
Or they say, well, you know what? I ain't got it. They just got to wait. I've seen delinquent credit as low as $2 past due on your credit report.
Yeah, that's crazy.
$2.
I've definitely seen it.
And that $2, that late payment of $2, Kimberly, it affected your credit score probably about 50 or 60 points.
That is so crazy. For $2.
There should be a rule or some type of baseline.
Right.
But the credit is the credit.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And, but you got to just make good with your creditors. And I feel that your creditors will work with you. Don't let it go into collections.
Right.
Don't let it charge off. When it charges off, they say, hey, you know what? We tried. We probably tried for about 6 months. We literally begged you. We called you. You hung up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
We sent you multiple letters. And let's talk about just putting those bills in the drawer.
Right. Line the drawer up with that.
Yeah. That's right. That's your exactly. You just putting the bills in the drawer. You have to open it. You have to face it. Okay.
Right.
This is what I got. So instead of me going out to eat 3-4 days a week, and it's expensive to go out to eat 3, 4, 5 days a week.
Right.
And I am a person that eat lunch at my desk.
Right.
That's what I do because I like my own cooking.
I hear. Okay. I hear you. Yes,
I
ma'am.
like my own cooking. So, I practice just, eating, cooking, and bringing my food.
Mm-hmm.
And it's healthier, and I'm saving money. So that 10 or 12 or 15 or $20 that I may spend every day eating out,
mm-hmm.
Trust me, if I do that 7 days a week, that's 140.
Right. Easy. Yep.
Just easy.
Right. And then you have nothing to show for it.
Oh my gosh, you have, and you do that every day.
Right.
Every week.
Yeah.
And you multiply that times 4 weeks, or how many ever weeks that you choose to go spend $20 every day to eat out.
Right.
Now that's your tracking.
Right.
Or just look at your bank statement.
Yeah.
You say, wow.
Yep. Yeah, Melissa said, been there, done that. I know that's right.
Melissa, you're absolutely right. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful. That $140 that I spent eating out last week, do you know how many groceries I could buy with that money?
Okay. Exactly.
Groceries are expensive, but eating out is worse.
Right.
And some people will say, well, it's just me. But that means you get to eat more.
That's
right. With nobody.
That is correct. I've learned that.
And it's a savings.
Yeah.
It's a savings. And it's healthier.
Yeah.
So credit, you just stop spending. You have to pay your bills, track your money, and be mindful.
Right.
And you think that cup of coffee at Starbucks? Man, Starbucks is rich. Have you seen their stocks lately?
Okay.
I don't even think you would get a cup of coffee under $8 in there, can you?
I don't think so. No.
And you sit in that line for 20 minutes, then you're late for work.
Right.
And your boss looking at you like, did you bring me some?
Right, for a cup of coffee.
But you do that every day.
Right.
And then you eat out.
Right.
So I'm just saying it's all about just being mindful of the money, Kim.
Yeah.
And those are just small examples. I think that, you should take your debit card out of your pocket or your wallet, your purse, fill your tank up, buy your groceries, eat Monday through Friday at home.
Right.
Okay. Or take your lunch do whatever it takes so that you can see the financial gain and the benefit of saving your money.
Absolutely.
It's just like mind blowing when I see, these bank statements and it's 15 pages of just frivolous spending.
Yeah.
How will you ever buy a home, or how will you ever get to the next level when you spend 6 days a week at Walmart?
Right. Oh my God. I know somebody like that. Like, why are you there?
Every day.
Why?
Or why are you going to the gas station every day?
Every day. Yeah, I know
people
like that.
The more you're going to spend.
Yeah.
I am guilty. I love Publix.
Okay.
Okay. But I stay out of Publix. When I see Publix on the left hand side, I just accelerate.
I know.
I am not going to.
Okay, I hear you.
But those monies that you're spending that's unnecessary, those monies can go towards paying your credit down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which ultimately is the goal, to pay the debt off.
Right.
That's the goal. So stop spending and pay those monies towards your credit. Now, that credit piece, I can just go on and on and on, because it's all about just changing that mindset, Kim, and leveling up to, you know what, I need to get a grip.
Right.
On my money.
Right.
Because I have created this disaster financially for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that every week or every 2 weeks or whatever my paycheck is, that's it.
Right.
That is it. And I have nothing to show for it, except for a whole mailbox of bills that I didn't open.
Right.
And they're going to keep sending those bills to that address.
As long as you pay that rent or that mortgage.
As long as you live there.
Right.
The mail lady going to bring those bills. So,
right.
Open your bills, look at it, put yourself on a budget, and say, hey, I gotta do this. Okay, if it takes that I can't go out and eat, for 3 or 4 days, or, I can't do this, or I can't do this for 3 or 4 months, just look at it, line it up, face it, and handle it. Mm-hmm. Be accountable. And if you need a study buddy, like back in college, you had a study buddy, mm-hmm. What about accountability partner?
Right.
Okay, like, look, we go do this together. Maybe one of your best girlfriends or your husband or whomever say, let's do this. Let's be held accountable.
Right.
No, we're not going to do that. We're going to go out once a weekend, because you got to treat yourself.
Absolutely.
You got to treat yourself. You don't want to feel like you're a slave. But right. Remember, you put yourself in that debt.
Yeah.
So now you have to deny yourself of everything that you've been spending your money on, Kim.
Right.
And it will get you out of debt. It may take you a year. It may take you 2 years. But once you're there, you will probably say, never again.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're out of, you got money, you have good credit, and you out of debt.
Right.
And it's all about discipline. Literally, it's all about discipline, especially when you have a set paycheck every 2 weeks or once a month, whatever that amount is. It has to go very far. Mm-hmm. And when you abuse it, you have problems.
Right. Now, and I've heard this be said, not recently, but like years ago, that you can have good debt. What would good debt look like?
Good debt would be a mortgage.
Okay.
Because you are actually building equity in your home.
Okay.
Real estate is good. And, you buy a piece of real estate, you stay in it, you maintain it. Just being a homeowner in itself is maintenance.
Right.
Okay, that's a good debt to have.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever have to worry about if you pay your mortgage past the 5th of the month, you're going to get an eviction notice hanging on your door.
Right.
That's a good debt to have.
Right.
Now, that's a debt that you can pay before the 15th, because you have the 1st to the 15th. Anything after that, your mortgage company will assess you a late fee. But you also have until the end of the month to pay it. Right. Okay, depending on how you get paid. That's a good debt to have.
Right.
That debt can turn into an asset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it is a debt. That's not a bad debt to have.
Okay.
And I suggest and recommend, if you build your credit and become credit worthy, you can definitely buy yourself a home.
Absolutely.
And that's a good debt to have.
Absolutely. I know we have a lot of comments there. I know you can probably see them. If it's something on there you would like to address, and then I'm going to open the phone lines for anyone that might want to call in and ask you something specifically.
Okay. Melissa says, I eat in all the time, a grill. All the time, eat on it all week. I know, that's right, Kim. I mean, Melissa, because I call everybody Kim.
Yes.
Melissa. But Melissa, I don't blame you. I love to eat. I love a good meal. I like cooking my own food, even sometimes when I don't feel like it. Or you're like, I'm big on just this. I'm a same old girl kind of thing, salmon and vegetables and salads. Make your own cappuccino. You get to save that money, Melissa, and put it towards a debt or put it in savings. There's so many ways that you can save money. I even do this 52-week challenge where I save a certain amount of money every week. Mm. And I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, And at the end of the year, I have these 52 envelopes that I can't wait to open up. Okay. And say, wow, look what I did.
That's awesome.
Look what I did. And it starts off like 1 week at a time.
Right.
I'm having to take care of my father affairs. I have learned a lot. Very good. Sometimes it can be, well, you know what, Melissa, you stay encouraged. And there is definitely a rainbow at the end of what you are doing. You're saving. I love salmon and salad. I know it's good for you too. Okay, keeps you slim and healthy. So, you stay encouraged in what you're doing and taking care of your dad and handling your finances or maybe handling his. There is definitely a rainbow at the end there. So, do what you have to do. If you need to reach me at Dynasty Financial, you can. My number there is 770-518-6455, and we can discuss, a further plan for you if you need that. And you can also visit my website at www.dynastyfinancialconsulting.com.
Right.
Okay, Melissa?
Y'all got the plug. Now you got the plug. It will be repeated for anybody else that wants the information. So what is being said is it doesn't stop here. If you need some more one-on-one communication, talking to, teaching, whatever it is, make sure that you sign up for the literacy class, the financial literacy class. You definitely want to do that. That one's coming up Saturday,
August the 19th, and we'll have another class on the 26th at the Smyrna Community Center in Smyrna, Georgia.
Okay. And they can call you directly at the office and speak with you specifically, and or go to your website, which is Dynasty Financial Consulting.
Yes, www.dynastyfinancialconsulting.com. Dynasty's been around since 2004. We embrace challenges. We work with a lot of clients. We offer mortgage services, residential and commercial. Also, we offer credit consulting and loan modification and the financial literacy.
Yeah.
So wherever your need is, we can definitely help you at Dynasty Financial.
One of the things I do want to say about you, Deborah, as far as how you go about handling your business, it's a lot different than what I've seen with other companies or other people that are in, the mortgage industry or just in finances, period. You have people that are more concerned about what their commission is going to be, or making sure that if they're selling a house, that we're going to hurry up, get you in the house so I can, one, stop dealing with you, and two, get my check. Keep it moving, where there's not a whole lot of, personal interaction, not a whole lot of caring about, the other individual. And what you do, and to the people who are watching and who will be watching, what separates Deborah from a lot of other companies and a lot of other individuals is that she takes the time to inform, to educate, to level you up so you know what's happening, why it's happening, how it's happening, how to prevent it from happening, how to cause it to happen, whatever it is really giving you the power to know, is giving you ways to apply the knowledge, and that is so important. And I said that's a factor that's missing in the industry.
Well, what happens, at the end of the day, I've been in the business for a long time, Kim,
Mm-hmm.
and today, Dynasty Financial has a 0 default rate. I am a lender. My clients don't default on their mortgages.
Right.
Because I give them and provide them with so much information.
Right.
Okay. And I did have one particular client that defaulted. And what I did, and it was brought to my attention. So what I did, I helped this particular client save her house. Mm-hmm. And I modified her loan. Okay. And she defaulted because she had a situation that was out of her control. She was injured when she had surgery and she could not work. Mm. But I put her in that home and she came to me and said, Deborah, this is what has taken place. And I said, okay, let's save your house. Right. And she couldn't even afford to pay me. I said, don't you worry about it.
Right.
Don't you worry about it.
Right.
And that young lady passed away.
Oh, wow.
I helped her I was very saddened. But she became very ill after the fact, but I helped her save her house. That was the only default that's in Dynasty's record. Wow. But I helped save her house. That comes from coaching and caring and being there and answering the questions. Not just, okay, true, here's your home loan, see you later. I want to be there for you.
Right.
Okay, because what happens is that as a mortgage lender, those defaults are looked upon. Mm. They don't go away when you have a record of clients that are defaulting on their mortgage. Mm. There's a problem. They will come and turn your company upside down. Okay. Because now we have a history of you're originating bad loans.
Right.
Or what are you telling your clients? So it's important that Dynasty Financial Consulting Incorporated in Smyrna, Georgia, operate at a high level of integrity.
Right.
Integrity is important. So we're doing good business.
Absolutely.
Where I'm coaching and assisting my clients, not just to buy the house, but my goal is to help you to keep it. And by the time I finished with my clients, they were like, oh, I don't want to hear about it.
But they know. I mean, they walk away knowing. They walk away knowing.
It's a lesson.
Right.
It's a lesson.
Right.
It is a lesson.
Right.
It's more than just going to the closing table and signing 400 pieces of paper that you will never pick up again. Right. But you bought a house, and now what do I do to keep it? I'm going to call Deborah over at Dynasty because she told me, whatever you do, if you get into a financial situation, I want you to be in front of it.
Right.
Don't wait for the foreclosure notice to come. Right. Before that mortgage is 30 days past due, pick up the phone and say something.
Right.
There's options, and we can help you save your home. The bank really doesn't want the house back.
Right.
Because you earned it. You're worthy of it. You had the ability to repay the loan. You had good credit. You had assets. You qualified for it. We just didn't give it to you. You earned it.
Right.
And we truly want you to keep it.
Right. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead.
So that's the passion that I have for my clients.
Absolutely. It's appreciated because it's rare. Okay. So it's definitely appreciated.
It's important. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and open the phone lines up real quick. If anybody wants to call and ask Ms. Deborah a question, you may do so now. 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271 if you want to call and ask her a question. In the meantime, I want to ask you this. What do you think is the underlying reason behind the perception of money and wealth, particularly amongst Black people?
Repeat that question.
What do you think is the underlying, some of the underlying reasons behind how we perceive money? I'll put it that way. How we perceive money, how we perceive wealth.
Well, you can't get wealthy if you spend all your money.
Right, correct.
Money is perceived that we got to have it.
Yeah.
We have to have it. And it could be, and when they say the the root of evil is money.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Money is the root of all evil.
The money, it can be, but it shouldn't be.
Right.
And it really isn't. Okay.
Right.
And depending on, how you were raised and what your values are, it should not be evil.
Right.
However, it's perceived like, I got to get it, I got to get it, I got to have it, I got to have it. What I need to do, I need to do this, I need to do that. And that makes it evil. So It's not just the money. Who are you behind the money?
Right. That part.
Who are you behind the money? What is your drive to, have all this money?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Some of us have been blessed with extraordinary gifts. Mm-hmm. We all have a gift. And how much, I won't say how much money can you make based on your gift, but you can level up based on your gift.
Right. Monetize your gifts.
That's right. You can really, really do that, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for all of us. We all do have a gift. So, that money piece, like I said earlier, we have to have money to live.
Yeah.
We have to have money to live.
Right.
At whatever level you're at.
Right.
And that's just the way it is.
Right.
Wealth, money, and wealth. Some of us are wealthy, okay? And we may not have a whole lot of money, but it does not make us not wealthy.
Right.
We can have a wealthy mindset. A wealthy mindset is a healthy mind.
Right.
Okay? And not being a demon. Okay? Not being a demon or doing things that are unethical to obtain money.
Right.
Which will, in the long run, put you in a bad situation. Absolutely. And you're saying, wow, I did all this for money and now I can't enjoy it.
That's becoming a slave to money, and I'm glad I'm glad that you answered the previous question in going into how a person is brought up, because we have been led to believe, I say, that if you have money or if you have a lot of money, that you are evil or you're opening yourself up to bad things, happening to you, or good people don't have money. Good people get their rewards in heaven. I'm like, well, excuse me for saying this. Okay. And if we gotta wait to heaven to get our riches, what's guaranteeing you that you're going to heaven? I want mine now, just in case.
Yes, I want mine now.
Right.
I think it's well deserved. You reach a certain point in life, you want your money. You want to be compensated. You want the fruit of your labor.
Right.
And you want to enjoy it while your eyes are open. You want to enjoy it. There's a season for everything. You got our 4 seasons, and I believe in seasons. You got your seasons in, you got your seasons out.
Right.
Okay. So you have to determine what is good for you. And we all have different goals and aspirations.
Right.
Okay. And you have to determine where you fit in for you and how can you make your situation a whole lot better. And that's the self-examination.
Right. Absolutely.
Self-examination so that you can have what you truly want.
Right. Absolutely.
And when you get this money, like, okay, I earned it, now what?
Right.
And still being a good steward over the money.
Right.
Because it can disappear.
I'm glad you touched on that as well. It's like,
And I won't say like, snap of the finger, but depending on how you got it, it can be snap of the finger gone.
Okay.
So you definitely want to be, want to be a good steward over your money. Whether you are employed, whether you are self-employed, however, you need to be a good steward over the money.
Right.
Over your finances. And then once you realize that you have control over your finances, now you're looking into other ways to invest your money.
Right.
Going to your bank, going to your licensed financial advisor, asking, say, hey, this is what I have.
Right.
My debt is low, my savings is high. Now, where do I put this money so that I can continue to let it grow?
Right. Absolutely.
But it starts with the basics of let me get control over my spending so that I can have a path where I can save and I can prepare, for my golden years of retirement or for my children's college fund or whatever your goal is. You need to make sure you start off by being debt free and saving your money.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask this final question before we go into any final thoughts you might have, and then again, giving people ways to contact you. How do we, as a collective, change our mindset as it pertains to our finances? What would you say? How do we go about changing how we think about our money?
Well, I would say, Kim, you have to be in. The average person is in denial about their finances. Okay. And I have seen that over the years. You don't want to change how you spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just don't want to. Even you have people that make a lot of money and they're not credit worthy. Okay.
Yeah.
I think just changing the mindset and being accountable. Be accountable for doing right with your credit and by people with your money.
Right.
Or you'll have a lot of money and you won't pay your people.
Right.
You know? So it's changing the mindset, Kim.
Yeah.
That is the first thing. And being conscious and aware of what you're doing with your money.
Right.
I'm not saying by far you have to nickel and dime yourself, but if that's what it takes.
Right. At least
to
for a
get
minute.
to where you need to be financially. If you have to pull back, saying, "Hey, this is it. This is the budget. The budget is. I'm not spending. I'm only spending what's necessary."
Right.
And you stay on track with that for that allotted time that you have given yourself. You can accomplish your goals. And then that's a habit. That's a habit.
Right.
That's habit forming. Now
Right.
you're really accomplishing that goal, and you're doing it in small increments.
Right.
Small increments, Kim.
Right.
And then you add on, you do your weeks, then you have your 30 days, then your quarters, and then you roll up into a year, and you look back 12 months and say, wow, that was not hard at all.
Right. I did that.
I did it. And you look in your bank account and you see it.
Right.
So instead of having 12 pages of bank statements, your bank statements are what? 3 pages, because everything else is in your savings.
Yeah. There you
Just
go.
being accountable, tracking your spending, and saying and denying yourself on things that you don't even have to spend.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
You don't. Just
Yep.
it's
discipline.
And it's being very disciplined, Kim, and it's not hard to do. That's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
Some people can say they're very disciplined going to the gym 5 days a week.
Right.
But they may not be disciplined in their finances.
Right. Right.
Okay, so we have to find a balance for what works for us to get the end results.
Right. Yep.
End results.
And like with
So
anything, when we have when it's something that we want for ourselves, instead of looking at it as, well, I'm losing this, I'm not able to do this because I'm trying to do this. Again, that is a mindset, is how you think about it, it's prioritizing. You're not losing, it's shifting.
And you're shifting. Thank you. That's a good word. That's a good way to put it, Kim. You're shifting in terms of reaching that goal.
Right.
And it's back to discipline and tracking your money, tracking your mindset, and changing your habits. So instead of going down the street passing Starbucks, go the other way.
Right.
He's like, look, I'm not going that way because I just got to have a Starbucks coffee.
Right.
Make your coffee at home.
I know that's right.
And then you can ride by Starbucks and say, I got my own.
Exactly.
That's $8 that you didn't spend.
That part.
And burning gas sitting in the drive-thru.
Right.
So it's just changing your habits, changing your route, changing what you do, changing how you eat. It's all about being disciplined, and it goes back to the money.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It goes back to the money.
Absolutely.
And you look at the end of the month, you say, wow, I was guilty of that. I would always buy my daughter, India, these really fancy custom-made barrettes for her hair. And every time I got paid, I mean, I owed the girl like $200 out of each paycheck because I just kept on buying my daughter all these really nice socks and hair clamps. And I mean, how many pair of socks with ruffles on them could she have?
Right.
But the girl had a hustle on at the job.
Okay.
And she would put you on a payment plan.
Wow. For Brett's.
She had a payment plan.
I hear you.
Oh, girl, you can pay me when you get paid.
Right.
On payday? She wanted her money.
I hear you. Indeed.
But she was hustling everybody, and that was her side gig.
Okay.
I'm like, I need to get me a side gig.
Okay.
But it
side
taught
to
me.
the side.
It taught me stop spending your money before you make it.
Yeah. We're very guilty of that.
Stop spending your money. Like, I get paid Tuesday, so I'm gonna go ahead and just stop spending your money and knowing that I'm going to get paid tomorrow. Or what about you go to work tomorrow, you get laid off? That's your last.
That's your last check, right? Yeah, that part.
And you didn't see that coming,
right? That's true. That is
some things we don't see coming, Kim.
Right. That is very true. I know it happened to me. I know it happened to me.
It happened to me a whole bunch of times too. However, that is the lesson.
Yeah.
There's a lesson in it.
Yeah.
We have all lost jobs and got laid off. Companies closed down. We got a severance package, or if we did that, or got unemployment. But who wants to live like that? Because I had a plan for that paycheck.
Right.
But now it's gone.
Right. Yep.
So we have to definitely plan for the unforeseen things that are out of our control, so that we, can weather the storm, Kim. Because as I said, rainy days will come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Phoenix over here, he says he's laughing because he got some bad habits too. I know it. We all do.
We all, but I hope that I've said something to encourage you, to enlighten you, to make you aware that we just have to pull back on our spending.
Right.
Like I said, you can deny yourself of a lot so that you can have the greater at the end.
Right.
And God says he'll make you, if you show him that you can handle this little bit, he'll make you ruler over much.
Absolutely.
And I truly believe in that.
Absolutely.
He has definitely showed me that he will make me ruler over much, because I was able to maintain with the little bit that he had, that he gave me.
Right.
So I am definitely a product of saving my money.
Right. Absolutely. So I used to look out for women, lost like $6,000 dealing with one. Okay. You dealt with the wrong one. You dealt with the joker of the box. The joker.
The joker of the deck. Huh?
Right. You didn't get the queen. You got the joker. But yeah.
Right, I the joker. But it's all about having that mate or having that significant other being on the same page with you.
Yeah.
And he or she should embrace what you are trying to accomplish.
Absolutely.
And when you are unevenly yoked, you're going to get that.
Right.
Somebody's always going to be pulling at you, but you got to be evenly yoked with that mate so that you all can reach those goals together.
Absolutely. That's what that partnership is about. It's about
that partnership. Yeah, and that partnership, and you get into relationships or even marriages, and nobody knows anything about each other's financial profile.
Right.
Somebody got a 500 credit score, and somebody got a 600 credit score, or 800, and you say, and y'all are married, and nobody knows where the money is going.
Right. Exactly.
And don't tell me how to spend my money, but don't tell me how to spend my money. Well, you got your money, I got my money, but we married.
Right. Yep.
And you can't ask no questions. It's like the worst conversation you could have with your mate.
Exactly. And that's why it needs to be had before they become your mate. That is one of the questions that needs to be had before they become your mate.
Even during, courtship, I think that we need to talk about these finances.
Right.
How you spend and how I spend, it may be two different things.
Right.
He could bankrupt me, or I could bankrupt somebody.
Right.
You got to have those conversations. You got to have that, I call it the kitchen table meeting.
Absolutely.
And you have to be very transparent about what's going on. So if this is what we desire to do, we need to put it out on the table.
Right.
Because I may be one that like to spend, or you may be one like to spend, or vice versa. So we got to find a common, that middle goal, like, and hold each other accountable.
That part.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. Accountability, y'all. Y'all hear it all the time. You hear it all the time. All the time.
Yes. Be accountable,
Absolutely.
And just make yourself accountable.
Right.
So if you can do it, you can definitely, you would definitely desire to have a mate, that's also being accountable financially.
Yeah.
So that you all can accomplish those goals together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, are there any other comments that you want to address before we make a left? I definitely want to get you on here again. This is like part one of this conversation. Like you said, there's so much more that you can go into that needs to be discussed. So we're gonna have you on here again.
Great job, Gary. Great job. It matters. It matters just being, held responsible and putting it into place and actually seeing the fruit of your labor. It takes work to be financially strong. It takes work and discipline. Yeah, so, continue to do what you do, and you'll be rewarded. And we look at our bank account, we look at our credit, and just say, I got this.
Right. Absolutely.
I got it. Absolutely. So good job, Gary.
We got a question over here on this side that wants to know if you help small businesses get SBA loans.
Well, it's not just the SBA loan, but I can help you to look at your overall profile so that you can qualify for SBA loan.
Okay.
Because you have to have that strong credit profile for SBA.
Right.
And when you do not have that, SBA does frown upon that, and they will deny you. Mm. And depending on how much you are looking to spend to borrow, they want to see your personal profile also.
Right.
So if your personal profile, meaning your personal credit profile, is weak, they will deny the loan. Mm. So the goal is to actually take and make sure that you're financially credit worthy, meaning you have a good credit profile. I can assist you with that. You can call me at 770-518-6455. We can talk further about it.
Okay. All right. So again, I'm going to have you repeat that information. Again, you have a financial literacy course coming up on this Saturday, August 19th. At the Smyrna Community Center in Smyrna, Georgia, from 9:30 to 1:30, is it?
Yes, 9:30 to 1:30, Kim. I'm sorry. I was trying to read the comments.
Oh, no, you're fine.
It's 9:30 to 1:30 on Saturday. I would say go to my website and sign up for the financial literacy class. And there's also going to be a link there that you can actually pay for the class. It is $99. Okay, it's a 3.5 to 4 hour course. Our phone number in the office is 770-518-6455. The website again is www.dynastyfinancialconsulting.com.
Okay. Schmidt, I'm going to ask you to stop doing that, sir. This is not what this is about. What you got going on here, this is not what that's about. Okay. So cut it out.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Russell.
Right. But I do thank you, Miss Mitchell, for coming on and educating us, informing us about financial literacy, giving us an opportunity to participate in your class and to call you directly for business. Let me stress this, for business purposes. Don't call her clowning, because you will get clowned.
I have some gatekeepers at the office. Okay.
So. Trust and know. Okay. Don't call clowning. Okay. You will get the business.
We are definitely in business to assist the consumer. I am very active. We have outreach programs that we participate in the community, South Fulton and also Cobb County. So we're looking forward to working with everybody. I'm excited. Kim, thank you so much for allowing me to be present. Absolutely. And if need be, I will return.
It need be. We gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. That literacy is needed continuously. Continuously. So welcome, we're gonna definitely do it.
I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Again, I can be reached at 770-518-6455. I'm in the office Monday through Friday until 7 o'clock. Usually from 10 to 7, but our office hours are 9 to 7 p.m. and by appointment only on a Saturday. So, Kim, it's been a very, very long day. I thank you. You can go on and on and on and on.
I know, right? I tried to warn you.
right along with saving our money, we have to get rest too, so
Absolutely,
our
we
minds
do.
can be sharp in the morning.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Well, I
All
appreciate
right.
you, darling, and we will
And I
talk,
appreciate you.
and
All right.
we will talk.
All right,
Thank you,
Kim.
love.
Good
All
night,
right.
everybody.
Good night, love. Thank you so much.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Okay.
All right, everyone. So you had an opportunity to meet Deborah Mitchell, CEO of Dynasty Financial Consulting. I will go back in and read the rest of you all's comments. I appreciate you all for being here. Hopefully, you have been edified by the information provided. Again, if you need any more direct counseling, any specific scenarios you need to have answered, make sure you give Deborah a call at the office, 770-518-6455, and or visit the website, which is dynastyfinancialconsulting.com. And don't forget to sign up for that financial literacy course on this Saturday, the 19th, at the Smyrna Community Center in Smyrna, Georgia, obviously, from 9:30 to 1:30 p.m. Okay, go on the site, sign up for it, see how much it is, what all is being offered. It is definitely worth it. Okay. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I appreciate you all for being here as usual. I am going to get myself ready for tomorrow, most high is willing. I appreciate you. I love you on purpose with purpose. And I will see you again next time. Stay literate and stay leveled up. All right. Peace.